It is not popular in many countries, but at the same time, popular in its own game. The history of the world-famous motorsport began in 1950. It has been the epitome of motorsports all around the world and especially in Europe. In motorsports, the term formula refers to a set of rules and regulations adopted by the organizers to which all the participants must comply with. As for the number 1, it is added to recognize the championship as the premier category in motorsports. Some of the amazing facts about Formula 1 car racing is that Formula 1 cars can accelerate from 0 to 160 kilometers per hour and brake to 0 within 4 seconds. Formula 1 drivers get a lot of training which helps them brake sharply when approaching corners. It is a game of time and speed simultaneously. Number 2, the average cost of a car is $7 million. Their prices change every year as design rules change. Brake discs can reach 1000 degrees Celsius compared to molten lava temperature. Formula 1's car engine won't start when it's cold, hence they are always preheated before they hit the track. Each car consists of 80,000 components. They require highest level of precision in their assembly. Each of these components play an important role. If it is not fixed well, the car may not run correctly. A Formula 1 engine can't run more than 5 races, and their tires lose up to 0.5 kilogram per race due to the highest speed. Another thing is that Formula 1 driver loses 4 pounds per race. Unbearable cockpit temperature are the main reason drivers tend to lose up to 4 pounds per race. Formula 1 helmet is one of the world's toughest, considering that many injuries and accidents during a race involve the neck and head. The helmet is one of the most durable in the world. It must be tested for fragmentation and deformation before use. Formula 1 car racing is a race under 2 names. The first Formula 1 Grand Prix in history had 2 statuses. Officially, the race was called the European Grand Prix. In those years, it was the standard and good practice to give the race such as a status. But since the race was held on the territory of Great Britain and even in the presence of the royal family, it was given a second name, the British Grand Prix. The first Formula 1 championship race was held at the infamous British circuit Silverstone on the 13th of May 1950, organized by the Fédération Internationale d'Automobile, that is FIA. The FIA is the worldwide regulating body of Formula 1 among other motorsports. It is responsible for determining Formula 1 rules, interpreting them and applying sanctions and resolving disputes and issuing the super license needed by drivers to take part in the races. The root of Formula 1 racing go back into the 20th century as people had been racing cars competitively in Europe since the early 90s. During the 1930s and 1940s, there were several meetings that aimed to recognize races into a single united championship, but the start of the World War II ended up putting those plans on hold. In 1946, after the war ended, the FIA standardized a set of rules and started a championship for drivers. and it can be said that FIA is the inventor of Formula One. Formula One car racing is based on rules. The rules state that drivers and teams must adhere to the rules of Formula One, including the code of sportsmanship and the technical regulation. Cheating results in penalties or suspension. Drivers must wear helmets, shoes, gloves, hands devices, and race suits specifically designed for Formula One races. Formula One race circuits are between approximately 3 to 7 miles. Teams may use no more than 4 total drivers in races throughout the season. The race must last no longer than 2 hours unless there is a race suspension. Extra time equal to the length of the suspension is. And lastly, vehicles must be fueled at the beginning of the race, and pit crews are no longer allowed to refuel during a race. That is the Formula One car racing.